Hello, it is Will here with our Friday Hangout April Fool's Edition. Kind of starting out here, we are down a couple of people. Sorry if you hear a fan in the background here. Just turning it off right now. But, oh, hello, Chief. We are doing our Friday Hangouts. I know we've missed a couple. There's been a lot of stuff I've been dealing with. A lot of like personal things, store-wise, business-wise, all that stuff. You know, the usual, what we've been all dealing with here during the current global situation. So a quick little, I'm fine. It's working on it personally. It's gonna be okay. It's a bunch of stupid stuff that doesn't really matter. But that's why we're not here, or we're not here for that. We are here for some fun. And because it was April Fool's, we actually have some cool, unique things we're going to be doing for the stream. So feel free, if you're just watching this is all off the cuff. This is live recording. I know we don't have the cameras on right now, just because this is the intro. This is kind of how I'm going to start for editing purposes. I'm going to use these as kind of visual cues. I hope you guys can hear the music in the background well. It's not too loud over me, or I'm not super blaring loud. So feel free to stop it by. We have our YouTube live chat up. I have that on the screen now, so I can actually see that. I have the Discord. Come here, Gigi. I have a Gigi with me. Oh, sorry, baby girl. Gigi, for all those who not know, she's the shadow spawn that lurks in my house. She is Glenn's cat, so you'll see her from time to time in these streams. We even have a camera usually set up for her because she loves to sleep on the bed behind me. So she can, you'll see her from time to time. But for those who do not know what we do here, this is the Friday Hangouts, ran by the community at Wizards Comics and Collectibles. It's a non-profit sponsorship, basically. We stream painting, gaming, chats, all that stuff every Friday from 3 to 8 p.m. MST, Mountain Standard Time. With usually the first 2 to 1.5 hours recorded / streamed on the site as like a little taste for those who might be in the younger audience or who may have missed it due to work and school and stuff, because I know that's happening. Right now there's currently a spring break going on, so we expect to see more of you guys in here, or at least more free. So we're going to start with that. Any other news and announcements I can think of going into this? We have, excuse me as I sneeze. Excuse me, sorry about that. Going into this, we have Strixhaven for Magic the Gathering is coming out very soon, so keep an eye on that as I get face butted by a cat. Hi GG. The Dark Eldar just came out for Warhammer 40k, and the Lumineth for Age of Sigmar. For those who are wondering what's the difference between the Teclis book and the new codex, basically the Teclis book kind of tells the story and is a upgrade to your codex. So those who bought the limited edition box, who wants to keep using their limited edition codex, then you buy the Teclis, and it comes with some other army special rules too. But in my opinion, for the value and the money, especially if you didn't get that limited edition codex, buying the new codex is a lot better because it has some of the new lore in it. It has all the new units, all the new stratagems and powers and what have yous for the same price. At least from where I live, that's where it is. What else is going on? In the world of D&D, we had a new book released called Candle Keep, which is a sort of like kitchen, like dinner party mystery solving sort of murder mystery feel, where it's 7 or 8 mini adventures, just like Tales of the Yawning Portal, based on mystery, sort of all mystery novel-esque sort of feeling, that can either be played as a campaign, or it does give you little clues where to like be like, hey, so put this little hidden letter in a thief's quarters that you find or something, and that can be a side quest. I don't know the 100% of the I can speak authenticity of this quote, so don't quote me on this. This is facts that have been dug up a bit but not fully exchanged. This might be a video I can do later on. This would be something more if I want to challenge myself with brain smart things, because I know Mike is more brain smart than I am. But there is rumors and allegations that Wizards of the Coast, Wizards of Comics, that'd be hilarious. Wizards of the Coast has taken / stolen community-made concepts, characters, scenarios, all that stuff, and used them in their pre-made campaign books. So Candle Keep has taken 7 to 8 little mini adventure / campaign stuff from the community. I believe they worked with them or something like that off the DM's Guild, and has printed them into a hardcover. So the joke has been that they got caught taking our homemade stuff, and are now just straight up saying, yeah, it's ours, and profiting off of it. But again, I don't know the full story. If you guys know more details, feel free to leave it in the comments down below. We can talk about it later in the next video, do updates and stuff, or in the next podcast, which if you guys want to listen to our podcasts, me and Mike do personally, again, sponsored by the store, non-profit sponsorship. It's called Pulled From the Shelf, a collector's podcast, where we answer your questions about stuff, talk about cool and interesting facts and topics, have discussions, and you guys can always just throw questions down in the comment section below, in the chat, or on our social media, so I can get all the best ones or the most requested ones and ask Mike 4 to 5 questions at the beginning of each podcast. We're aiming for a monthly, bi-weekly sort of feel before the virus hit. I know it's a little bit harder to do now because of it, but that's where we are. I think that's that for that news. That's it for D&D. Comic-wise, there's a huge thing that dropped for our comic readers, which Marvel is splitting their primary distributor from Diamond. So they're pulling a DC. So they're going to be going to Penguin House, the guys who make all those graphic novels and kid books for like junior highs and elementary schools. You know, when you all go to those scholastic school fairs, like those guys, they're going to be doing it. From what I've been told, they are pretty decent. A lot of people like working with them. So what does that mean for you guys? From what I know, again, keep an eye on the Wizards social medias. They will have the official news if anything affects them. They will let you know. From what I've read in the official statements from Diamond and Marvel, is that Penguin House will be their primary distributor, but all things will still be possibly ordered through Diamond. But I expect there to be a higher charge. So if you want to be competitive and keep with your pricing, you're going to have to go through Penguin. If you're basically like the only comic store in an area, you might be safe to go with Diamond, but it's still going to feel bad as the employee or the guy who orders, knowing that you got to charge a little bit more. And then we also don't know if Diamond or Penguin is going to pull a Lunar, where they have made soft caps, so they turn cover Bs into 1 in 10s, and they turn cover like 1 in 10s into 25s. And they're also the nice thing with Penguin, they're not a printer that I know of, or they're not a comic book store. Whereas Lunar was a comic book store, so there was a complete sort of conflict of interest. But again, this might be something, if you guys are interested in it, we can talk about it later on as an actual video or podcast with Mike, as a discussion if you guys want it. But what else is going on here? I can think of off the top of my head as I'm vibing, waiting for more people to please show up and say hi. If you guys want to join me live, we do accept people to come in and chat with us, so you can say your opinions and stuff, paint along with us. I'm currently in the streaming booth right now, so that's where I sit to kind of do these pre-rambles. if you guys want to chat, I usually move later on into the 18 plus channel on our Discord, which is in the links below. It is the Wizards Comics official Discord. So that's where we have our games. We have D&D almost every night. We have Magic, people looking to play Magic with Spell Table, with Wizards of the Coast having official support on that. We have people playing Tabletop Simulator for playing our Warhammer events and stuff. So basically, all the events that we used to do before the virus, we have now moved online. We are looking into, with spring coming around and restrictions being raised, we're looking at what we can possibly do for you guys. I know vaccinations have been rolling out, so where we currently are located, there's a lot of younger people, so a lot of us haven't got the vaccination yet. But once that hits, we will most likely be able to actually run events in store again. But that's going to be for a bit. So if you guys want to play or find people to play with, highly suggest checking out our Discord. That's where you can meet up and chat. The 18 plus channel, again, come join in, chat with us. I'll be hanging there for the rest of the night, painting, playing games, doing whatever I want to do at the time. Basically, the reason why it's 18 plus is that is where for you older viewers or our older file members, if you want a place to chat, talk about stuff without worrying about the younger people being in there or hearing some bad words, you feel free to hop in there. That's where we also allow you guys to stream your cameras, to paint with us, play with us, read with us, whatever you want to do. If you are of a younger age, any of you, especially with those who are parents who have younger kids who might want to play games, we do have an all-age section that has restrictions of what you can and cannot do, and no camera support without permission. So you don't have to worry about weird people just turning on their cameras randomly, or you accidentally see something that you shouldn't, or hear something you shouldn't. So feel free to hop in there. I monitor those closely. I know when I'm painting during these streams, I can sometimes ignore the the chats because I get a little bit too distracted in my painting. But feel free just to message on there, and I will get back to you guys as soon as I can. Usually I have my co-host with me, Glenn. He is currently away doing stuff until later tonight, so he won't be on the stream. We have Eric coming by later tonight too, so he'll be in there painting up and playing games with us, so you can come say hello. Besides that, I think that is all the news and topics. I'm going to head into the 18 plus channel and we will start our painting. Let us go. Okay, we are back. I am here. I am the stream. Discord chat, bring you back up. There we go. So hello. Welcome to our oh, there we go. That's a huge spike. Hello, welcome back. We are here. We're at the actual streaming part. I am in the 18 plus chat, so I'm gonna turn on my camera there. So if you guys want to hop on by, feel free. You can join us in the painting and whatnots. Say hello, see some things going on, what have you. All that niceness. So we will start. I will turn on the cameras. Hopefully my features do not scare, but we will right into the painting here, as I have lack of stuff. Maybe you guys can vote for what food I get tonight. What do I order? I had pizza already. I have yet to have my burger limit. I am trying to eat healthy, so I have limit what foods I can have. I've already had my pizza limit, so that's just one pizza a month from a place like Pizza Hut or Pop John's. You know, non-healthy stuff, basically. So all my other limits are still open, so if you guys have suggestions, feel free to leave them down below. We'll order that later tonight. But let me turn on the first camera and show you our first actual joke thing we're doing for April Fools. This was donated by some guys at the store asking me as a joke if I'd be willing to paint it, and I have taken the challenge. Again, this does not reflect Wizards. This is the community. This was meant to be taken as a harmless joke. Please don't take it personally to anyone who may think so, but this is the first character that we have as I open up the desk painting camera. Ooh, look at that. Camera. Camera is camera. I want to just see something here quickly before we start. It does cut off a good chunk. Okay. I'm just going to configure the video here for a second, because the sharpness could be worked on a bit. Saturation. There we go. There we go. Okie dokie. See, it is kind of cut off here, but that's because it's mostly for when I pick up stuff. Because I'm one of those painters who paint close up to their face here, but this is the item for the day that we are painting. It is called a Karen Bear, printed by said guys who have come and donated it. So we're going to be painting this today. This little fellow. 3D printed, all that stuff. If you guys want to know where the files are for it, I can always ask them and get the link, and then I can post it later on. But we're going to be painting that today. So I'm going to go turn back on the music here, turn on my my web camera, and we will listen to some nice music as we do some painting. So ignore me as I want that open. I flimsily open up some YouTubes and turn on the music again. Where was it? History. There we go. Hopefully it's not too quiet or too loud. It's basically just background noise for you guys to listen to. Anyways, we're going to go into it. As you guys can might hear, I do like my cyber synthy wave music stuff. I am a huge cyberpunk fan. So cyberpunk was a lot of fun when it came out. I know it had a lot of issues, but this Outriders though, Outriders has been insane. That has actually had issues. It's basically impossible to play because it's all online, and I highly think Square Enix underestimated how well it would do, because they're the guys who do Final Fantasy Online, so you think their server situation would be amazing. But yeah. Okie dokie. I think I should be fine. The glare in the TV should be fine. Well, like my display case. I have a display case. You guys might be able to see the glare of stuff. We should be fine. It's just like lights and TVs and shit. Basically, you can see my streaming TV. Anyways, let's turn on the camera. Boom. There I am. So you can see I'm looking up. It's because fix my shirt here. Looking like a disheveled mess. Oh, I know I am, but still, I want to try to look somewhat decent. Shave and stuff tonight too. Go for a haircut tomorrow. Salons are finally open, so that's gonna be, or hair cutting places are finally open. But anyways, yeah. So if you see me staring off to the distance, it's because my screen is up on a higher elevation than my desk. But we're gonna do some painting, so you guys can kind of see at multiple angles here when I paint, which is weird because this camera up here is definitely a higher quality and can zoom in, so I'd want it on my tripod here, but the one that's on the tripod is meant for this way facing, but it has the mount built in, so I can actually screw it into the tripod, so it's what we got. So if I'm looking away and stuff and looking weird, it's because the camera's not where I'm actually looking. So anyways, oh, I got double audio going, sorry. Oh no. Oh shit. Oh, well, there you go. There we are. Okay, well, I just turned off my microphone for good. It was like 30 minutes. Oof. So, anyways, we're back now. So basically, all what you guys all have missed is that. Oh, hello, Gigi. I was basically talking about Army Painter and some tactics about how keeping your stuff good and clean. But yeah, so let's go over the TDLR of what the hell I just spoke about. Shake your paints every week. Hello, Captain Common Sense, I see you there. Yeah, thank you for joining after the accident. I don't want to look like a fool, which I do. But anyways, hello, welcome to the stream. We're painting. It is our April Fool's stream, so I got this Karen Bear that someone has donated to the store for me to paint for the community to watch today. I'm going to be doing some other stuff. Feel free to join me in the 18 plus chat in the Discord there. But basically talk about paint maintenance. So shake your paints every week, especially if you live in really harsh climates. Possibly using a mixing ball or item as such, like a bead on a bracelet making set or a stainless steel bearing. I know Army Painter makes them, which our store carries all that stuff. Carries Army Painter. We carry Vallejo. We carry like Battle Foam, Citadel stuff. We can get in like War Machine, or War Mahorts, Infinity, Malifaux, the any like those MechWarrior tabletop games, D&D stuff, a lot of RPG things, a lot of tabletop games. I know we might not have them on the shelf, but that's just because spacing. But we can always order it in, no extra charge. Shake your paints, especially for Citadel. It's their whites, metallics, and are the main ones that I find split. For Army Painter, it's their yellows, light colors, like their light greens, light blues, and their washes need to be mixed. And that you will kill your arms like I did, where I permanently have damaged my arms basically from shaking the entire Army Painter set in one night because I was a stupid and very stubborn. But I would suggest with them getting a cheap just like nail polish cleaner from Amazon. What I do is, because especially their base paints and their metallics, they overfill the nozzle. So what I do is I wipe it down, make sure it's clean, and I put pick foam from like games like Bolt Action is the big one I play nowadays. In their metallic packs, they have foam. I just pick a little bit, stick it in the hole there so that it can wrap around the nozzle. So it gives it a nice tight, like pressed against it sort of feel. And then basically after I'm done wiping it, I want to use it, I put a metallic bearing in here. I just shake it up until I can feel the bearing hit side to side, and I can kind of feel the pressure of the liquid moving in it. Then you do a little drip, wipe it off, put it down until it's nice and tight, and then yeah, you're good. So if you get the shaker, basically what we'll hold it like this. I'd want a shaker like this, but they don't. I haven't found one, so it goes in like this, shakes it, and instead of spending an entire night like I did shaking these all by hand, you will then have it done in an hour. But again, most of you guys probably out there won't have the entire paint row, something unless you're some really good long-time painter, which I don't know why you're watching me paint. I am just like the epitome of normie guy painting. So I'm probably not worth watching at that level of your skill. If you keep seeing me rub my nose or use my shirt, Gigi is right here actually on my side. She is in the window. She likes to jump up on me and say hello, so I get cat hair all over my nose. So yeah, I got spray hand sanitizer beside me, so if I go get food. I was also talking about you guys can vote for what I should eat later today for lunch. But that's basically all you missed. That's the recap. You know, like a 10-minute sit down. Again, we finished the hair base layer of this bear, the Karen Bear. You see, that is a blanket. Oh, hello. Hi. Staring at me with malicious intent. Anyways, what else do we got on the bench today to work? We got this Panzer 4 or 3, I can't remember. I think this is a 4. I think this is a 4. It's really hard to see. The black primer I used is actually pretty, like, really good. This is why I like white primer. White primer shows areas a lot better. But put on this camera here. Panzer 4 for bolt action. I have a true scale Panzer 4 that I got from Tamiya. They're actually pretty okay in pricing. I'm going to pay $50 for a model. I'm going to get one that's true scale and way more detailed and a lot more fun because I love to build. I'm a model builder, not a painter. So I do like seeing paint though, like watching it turn into something, but I do love building. So it being a little bit more complicated, but not too complicated. So it was like a nice weekend long build was good enough for me. So yeah, you are able to join if you want to. Just hop in on the 18 plus channel and you'll be good to go.
Hello, am I being broadcasted?
You are.
Hello.
So just let me, since we actually have people here now, let me turn down the music and turn you up. There we go. Music has been turned up. There we go here. Go to chat. There we go. I now have you at a higher volume.
Awesome. That's great. So you're talking about paint safety and preservation. It's a pretty good topic.
Yep.
You're talking about mixing paint. I was curious. Did you know that there's you can get little electronic paint mixers?
Yeah, it's like I've heard about them, but like nail polish shakers and those specialty, more like actual paint shakers would be what I'd recommend.
Yeah, they're pretty good. Yeah, it's really important that you definitely mix your paints. It's kind of like, important part of the hobby. I know I made a lot of mistakes with not cleaning my pots out properly and things like that. There's many different brands with different ways of storing paint, and they can all be, some are notorious a little bit more trickier than others, but there's all sorts of different ways, and yeah, ball bearings are a great idea.
I know you're definitely a way better painter than I am. Do you have any tips, tricks, tales from the painting desk on your side that you want to share with people?
Yeah, it's a pretty common one, but one I would definitely recommend for folks that are watching is I got into the hobby through Citadel and Games Workshop products, and I quite enjoy their paints. They have a high pigment count, but their pots can be a little bit tricky. Some of them, just with the way that they peel. So it's very important that I find, if you're going with the Citadel range, to make sure that you have your lids 100% closed before you shake them, because they're kind of like a rubbery sort of substance or material, and you can get little gaps, and what happens if you don't close these gaps, you'll get paint into the inside of the lip of the top of the cap on the paint pot, and this will clog up your paint pots, and a lot of your paint can go bad. But it's really easy to fix. You can go in with very carefully with a hobby knife. I wouldn't recommend doing this if you're a youngster, because you can poke yourself through the pot, or a sculpting tool, and to just dig out the paint manually. But to prevent this, it's just much easier to keep an eye on your lids being permanent, like closed very well. The other problem that you can run into as a newbie is when you get into washes, and with the Citadel pots in particular, they have a very nice range of washes actually.
Yeah, a lot of people I see, you'll see like they have the whole army painter stuff like I do, but then all their washes are just Citadel.
Hmm. Yeah, like I feel like the quality of the paint is all like the pigments are kind of different, and like the colors that they use in the ranges are a little bit different. So it's more personal preference. I find, but for definitely the paint pots, like yeah, you are saving like an arm and a leg. With I would argue the army painter pots are much easier, a lot easier to also load up with things like an airbrush, because you could just squirt it into your pot on your airbrush and you're ready to go. So I do recommend for those paints. I think it all comes down to what colors you really want to use. Um, but the washes for the Citadel washes are quite tall and they're very light. So what can end up happening sometimes is you end up nicking the pot with the end of your brush while you're painting, and you dip over you tip over your wash jar, and it kind of spills all over the place. But you can there's actually a lot of 3D printable products out there, that you can buy, or get the files, or there's some stores that even sell them, um, that are just little bases that kind of weigh down your washes, and I find those are really helpful. So yeah, for as far as Citadel products go, I would definitely say make sure that you wipe and clean the top of your pots so they don't gum up, and add some sort of a weight or a little jar to put your washes in.
Yes. You're People ask like when do you get like you're good at painting or when do you become a painter? When you spill over that first null oil, that is when you have become officially a miniature painter.
Yeah,
Everybody,
and
I finally spilt my first null oil like 2 years ago.
oh wow.
Yeah, but ever since then, these are the pots in question he's talking about. The joke has been they used to be this size. So the joke was always be you'd use like 2 parts on the model, like 5 parts on the table. So you would basically end up. They made these so that one they can charge you more, and two, half of it will be used, the other half will be spilt on the table or your floor. So you can basically have more to use. But I've just made it a lesson now to put it on my brush, close it instantly before putting it on the table, and I've been good since. But yeah, I've definitely switched over to these boyos, which is the Army Painter washes. They're actually pretty nice, and they do act as a varnish. So if you're a person that likes to do decals, they're pretty nice for that. Then all you have to do is, because they do have a varnish in them, and I'd recommend this for anyone who uses oil paints or enamel paints. You want this stuff. It's brush cleaner. It has peroxide in it, I believe. I forget what the actual chemical is, but it eats that gunk without eating the glue off your bristles. And if you have really gummy bad brushes, basically just destroyed brushes, I've stuck them in, and you want to stick it so that they're like under the metal tang here, or whatever this part's called of your brush. You leave it in there pure, like brushes down for like an hour, and it just all cleaned out. Like I had this one brush that was just full of texture paint. It was basically just dead, poofed out, non-existent. It was supposed to be a large layer brush, and I put it in there for a day, and it is now back to like a fine tip.
Oh yeah, that sounds like a good product. And what company sells that?
A lot of companies have it. I know like Tamiya makes some, Vallejo makes some, and all those other bigger names. This one is a Winsor and Newton container. I got it at like Michael's for like $6. They have a giant version of this, but it was out at the time. But yeah, you put, I would say, for every one drop of this cleaner, you put 2 drops water, because it is really strong, and it's you want to get the odorless stuff, because if you get the other stuff that isn't odorless, it'll still work. It just you need to have that stuff in a ventilated area, or you will get high and kill your brain cells.
Yeah, Gotta be definitely careful with that. I know there's things like, paint thinner and things like that,
Yeah,
which are.
it's bad. I know I'm bad for spray painting even in a closed room, but this stuff I would not mess with because there's actual chemicals in there that can do some harm.
Yeah, I've just been using the Vallejo brush restore and the thinner medium,
Yeah.
which I find are good products. But there's I feel like some of definitely the more like industrial things are really good. That they are. There's definitely some misconception about like that like can you mix like things that are maybe meant for like like large like whether it's like canvas painting or sometimes even like construction materials and things like that in your hobby, and there is a little bit of crossover.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't be afraid to kind of look out there and just kind of see what works, and use a cheapo brush or something, and yeah, a lot of the hobby is just kind of learning as you go along and trying out new things. And
So I'm getting out paint to do like thick touch-ups for the layer, and I found this. And this paint, I want to use it just because of the name alone, because of the subject of what we're painting. But it's called oh, can we get it? Can we get it in the picture?
focus. Yeah.
Can we do this?
Oh.
No. Can I get it on here? Yeah, there we go. Can you read that?
It's a little blurry for me. There's a B. I can't quite read it.
Oh, it's Banshee Brown.
Oh, Banshee Brown, that's funny. I see you're painting a Karen Bear. That's pretty funny.
Yep. Rose. Untitled Paints. There you are. We use you. So yeah, this is the new their new metallic line that all got killed by our weather.
Oh yeah, those are the new. Yeah, I've been meaning to pick that set up.
It's really nice. Wait for the. I'd say wait until our stores here get the next batch, because the first batch of stuff was all brought in during that cold snap, and they all got destroyed.
Yeah, I'd really definitely be interested in picking up a set of that. Do they? I know Vallejo's really good at like selling paints in like packs. Is that range just available all in one pack?
Yep, it was a add-on to the metallic set.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah. It's really nice. It's really good if you want to do fantasy stuff. Like I picked up a box of Rebels, which you can't see, but it's up there. I picked up actually I'll just grab the box. Yeah, there we go. I picked up a box of Rebel troops for Legion.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, it's a game that me and the guys were looking into playing. I know you and someone else that I know wants to play the robots, the clankers.
Yeah, I'd be interested in like playing, maybe collecting a little bit of it. I have a friend of mine did some commission for a friend of his over in Lethbridge, and he painted up a clone army and a CIS army.
Yeah.
And yeah, like they look like they could be quite fun, and I'm not super well versed in Star Wars. I know I guess like as much as somebody who grew up like watching the films and stuff does, but
Yeah, that's basically all you need. From what I've seen in them, that's all you really need to know. They're very newcomer friendly.
yeah, they're very classic. I mean, you can't go wrong with Star Wars. I don't know how much variety there is in Star Wars for things like army color schemes and things like that, but I'm definitely interested to try doing some of the CIS stuff, because some metallics color metallics would be really cool, just to get that blue shiny metal that they have on some of their droids, especially the super battle droids. Almost have like kind of a bluey tint.
Yeah.
So it'd be kind of nice to paint something out of my comfort zone.
Yeah. I know I'm going to be going into the clone side, so I'll have droid players to play against.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I definitely want to look at potential. I definitely want to pick up, if I do start it, I want to get a Grievous, because Grievous is cool.
Yep. The models are actually really nice. They do require a little bit more cleaning, but they're like actually, I think, a little bit bigger than 40k models.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Their bases are definitely really derpy, and I recommend putting them on different ones, but it's cool. And then all their rules are cards, so it's just kind of like a card upgrade system, and it's, you know, like true classic fancy flight style and stuff. So Army Battle, whatever that app is to making lists, has it on there.
Battle Scribe?
Yeah, Battle Scribe.
Nice. Yeah, it looks like it's a pretty fun game. I've heard good things from some other Star Wars fans, and yeah, I've just been pretty short, or pretty I didn't sorry, not short. What am I looking for here? Pretty late on the Star Wars Clone Wars train, but I've just been watching that recently. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. So it'd be cool to try out some Star Wars things.
Oh, this was one of them. This was one of the paints that got destroyed in my set.
Oh no, you're red. Oof.
My rose color.
Yeah, those are great. I saw like how they're advertised, and like, yeah, it looks like absolutely amazing for like doing things like gems and all of that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I use them for like lenses, armor, mirrors. Like I used it for the blue on the binoculars on my sniper team for my Hungarian.
Oh yeah, that would be, yeah. It seems like really good. Because I know GW had the tints, the gem tints, but
yeah, I still have
sometimes they don't. Oh yeah, that's cool. I really enjoy the gem paints actually, because they are more of a tint, and you can mix them and do some different things. But yeah, having something like just a pure metallic range for you know, for some of those colors you don't really see, like, you know, metallic blues and almost things like you would see like on cars, like model cars. But those are enamel paints, and don't paint your miniatures with those.
Yes. Or do, if you're doing like cars, like miniature cars and stuff.
Yeah, if you're doing cars, yeah.
Or if you do model like tanks and stuff, enamel paints, especially effects, are really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's for another style painting.
Yeah, it's enamel paints are very I found are quite difficult. There's a completely different learning curve to them. But yeah, like, of course, like, yeah, for things for model cars, soldiers, I'm not sure so much. But,
probably not. I'd say that's more for their vehicles and stuff.
Yeah.
Can I save this?
But to achieve those effects, you can use actually a lot of the Citadel contrast paint. If you want to do things like kind of like Alpha Legion, if you're familiar with 40k, to have some of those. It's actually more, I guess, more 30k Alpha Legion, which is Horse Heresy, their specialist game. But yeah, they have kind of a blue shiny metallic sort of armor, almost kind of like an insect carapace, and they work really well for achieving as well.
Doing some brush heresy. You know, ain't gonna work. I tried.
So I'm just actually cleaning out some Citadel pots right now.
Let's see. What can I use that's actually usable, but would also fit the theme? Did you work? I think you work. Yep, you definitely work. So this is like what I was talking about, where you'll open it, especially these metallics, and it'll kind of explode all over you.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so you'll get like in here. That's kind of hard to see with the light, but you'll get that. So what I do is I usually just like use a spray bottle and just spritz it out over my water cup. And yeah, you just get a clean paper towel, wipe it off, and then a little bit of that foam in there wraps around it.
That's good. Yeah, that sponge idea is also pretty clever.
Yeah.
I never thought of
Especially if they're newer or you don't use them a lot, because there's supposed to be a little nozzle in the lid that is shaped like they press it down when it's brand new, so it fits to the hole specifically to stop that from happening. But their liquidier stuff, like their layer paints and the metallics, will spill. So when you buy the new sets, they come like this, and it will be spilled. So you just gotta clean them all up. But if you use them long enough, especially if you get them past like the twisty marks here, you won't have that problem anymore because of the pressure and stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I know sometimes on those paint bottles, if you really gum them up, you can end up kind of stripping the screw part on it.
Yeah, but I find that it's very hard to gum these up, especially if you're spraying them and cleaning them. But I want to see, that's the better looking of the metallic, like actual one that's paintable. That blue dot there.
Oh, that's gorgeous. Oh yeah, I definitely gotta pick that stuff up.
This is the bottle. My hands are blocking the light.
Probably tone that down too with the matte varnish if you wanted to do like have sort of the same effect but not as shiny.
Yeah. And the nice thing is the paint set that it came with a Create Your Own Metallics mixer.
That's one. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Just with the COVID virus, I haven't been able to get as much hobby supplies as I would really like to. But yeah, I'm very glad. And this is Wizards Comics, Sherwood Park, and I'm sure Will could have no problem giving you guys the full address. Yeah, and they sell quite a variety of different products from Games Workshop and I believe Army Painter now, which is really exciting.
Yep. And Vallejo.
And Vallejo, yeah. So that's wicked, yeah. Very exciting stuff.
There's the blue on the phone.
Oh, that's nice. That's great. That is like perfect for like an Alpha Legion blue.
It is really nice. Even a Thousand Suns blue.
Yeah, Rubric Marines.
Yeah, or Sorcerer, so it can be like on the magic and stuff.
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay.
Yeah, very exciting stuff. It's, the hobby has grown so much over the years, from even when I started, and that didn't seem like that long ago, and sort of a bit of a newbie compared to a lot of people. But, really impressive stuff.
Do we want to, should I go vibrant color with her fur, or should I go just a normal fur color? So I'm just trying to imagine like what would be the Cairn Bear color. So I'm gonna highlight this to be like a pink / purple, so it's like their lipstick for the vibrant. And then with the blonde hair, you got the decked out metal iPhone.
Yeah.
Metallic iPhone. I wanted it to be the rose pink because that's the iconic one. But what should her fur be?
You could kind of do like a lighter blonde and maybe do like a pink streak in the hair, or maybe a turquoise one.
I do have a pink. This pinkish purple. I do have pinks. Where is it? I have a chart here. I saved the back of the box. And I put all my paints in the box on the chart so I could find them.
Oh, nice.
Here we go. I found it. Yeah. Pixie pink.
That's awesome.
My favorite one that I have in here though, it's hard to see on camera. Oh, scar tissue. There we go. That's cool. Is that's Dragon Red. Dragon Red's cool. The cool thing though with Army Painter paint that I really love the idea behind is a bunch of their base paints, because they don't really have like base layer like Citadel has. That's why they're really good for starters, is because it actually tells you in which way to use them. But all their paints match 100% to their primers, because it's literally just a bunch of these in an aerosol can. So it's
wow.
it's 1-to-1. But what leads to problems is their base paints, like their greens, because they are this paint, they're not formulated for the spray paint as well as they could be. So they will gum up, and I've had 3 army greens in 4 seconds of using just explode on me. Like the can just, the nozzle just, and then it was so gummed up I had to use a paper clip to poke it, fill all the paint on my hand, and then paint it on.
Oh wow.
But I find that grays work pretty well. Like, they're really thin paints are fine, but their thick ones suck. So I'd say stick to either Citadel for your primers, or Vallejo makes really good primers, and they like work on everything.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like each company kind of has their own strengths and weaknesses in their painting ranges.
It looks orange on the screen, but
oh yeah, the pink.
They're pure red.
Oh, that's their pure red.
It's so red.
Oh, that's great.
Right, here's the cat, like I was saying. Yes, hi. So I'll grab that pixie pink. We'll use that for the hair. That's for sure. For show. But what for the fur? I know what we could do. We can do cheetah print.
Oof, yeah, that's super Karen.
Yeah. Okay, so I need I need a yellowish orange and a black. What can I do? Oh, that will fit so perfectly too. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, I'm sorry, Gigi, I'm squishing you. So, we have a choice. I leave this up to you, because the names fit too perfectly. If I can find the other one, it should be around here somewhere. Where are you? I just shook you yesterday. I just shook you. Where are you? Where art thou? Hello, baby. I know. You want my attention.
Where art thou?
Where art thou, paint? Right as I say, I had these all on, all together, right? It freaking disappears on me.
That's usually how it works when you're on camera.
Moon dust. That's a good one too. Where the frick did you go? Hi, baby girl. You're kind of in the way. A bunch of these names have just found new meanings now since we're doing this. Oh, there you are. I wrote all the names down on the lids too, so I can find them. So, we have a choice between... Again, you can't really see it well on the cameras because I haven't figured out how to set up properly. We have a GG on the table, apparently. Fine then. I will move stuff out of the way for you, cat. That's your spot now. You stay there. Sit. Sit. Sit down. There you go. Lay down. That is your spot now. Anywho, so we got Babe Blonde.
Yeah.
And we have Demonic Yellow.
Ooh, I think you gotta go with the Demonic Yellow.
Demonic Yellow as the base?
Yeah.
Babe Blonde, where are you supposed to go? You're supposed to go right beside Demonic Yellow.
You could also highlight the hair with Babe Blonde too.
I could. I have the Citadel equivalent, which is the... What are you bumping now with your tail? What are you doing? What are you doing? Which is the Urian or Flash Gets Yellow.
Oh, Flash Gets. That's a good one.
They're funny YouTubers.
Yeah.
Anywho, I believe Gigi has now decided she is part of the show.
Yeah. This cat has spoken.
So we're gonna Demonic Yellow the fur, and then we're gonna polka dot it with a... Should we do pink or red or some vibrant color, or should we just go pure cheetah print?
I feel like the pure cheetah, because if you're gonna have a lot of vibrant colors on the hair, the cheetah print would probably tone that down.
Yeah. So thin. So good.
So, should we talk about miniature releases, or do you think we're good?
Oh, I did a little intro here about it, but if you want to talk about what's cool that I may have, like something that you've seen that's cool, you can go for it.
Oh, there's a couple things. I mainly keep up with the Warhammer 40k side of things, but I'm gonna try and expand my horizon a bit without going too nuts. But yeah, there's the new Sisters previews. They're getting some sort of a chaplain, which is pretty interesting. I believe she's called Sister Dogmata.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so it's interesting. It's going to be really cool to see this trend that's kind of been going on with these new model releases, with everybody kind of getting a bit of a Space Marine treatment in a way, with lieutenant equivalents and things like chaplains, or librarians or things like that. So I hope that's something they keep up, because Space Marines get a lot of love, arguably too much. And yeah, it would be well, I don't think it's really arguably at this point, but yeah, it's nice to see some other armies get some different models. So yeah, looking forward to that. They also have there was the preview for their new Predator equivalent.
Well, the thing that has made everyone angry.
Yeah, has that actually made everybody angry? I did not know that.
Yeah, it's because guardsmen were like, but my tanks.
But my tanks. But guardsmen have like 50 tanks.
Guardsmen also have the most strongest tank in the game right now. So.
They have the Lehman Russ, yeah. Which is has Land Raider armor, so I don't know how you could complain there. On an iron mass-produced tank, but anyhow, yeah, the new Sisters tank looks really interesting. Some sort of a battle cannon and some heavy bolter sponsons. I'm not sure if there'll be meltas or flamers, like
alternates.
Yeah, alternates. Yeah, they did show that there's a twin. It could be a twin last cannon or auto cannon. I'm not quite sure. So essentially, like a Predator Annihilator. Which is really nice for the Sisters, because they're kind of lacking in some of the long range departments. So yeah, I think very exciting for some Sisters players to fill up some gaps in their army with the new war suits and things like that as well. So a little bit more armor and long range really can flesh out the Sisters range and codex overall, which is exciting. And some very exciting, which I'm excited for, is the new orcs.
Oh, the Hog Riders?
Yeah, the Hog Riders. Yeah, so these guys, I don't know what they're doing, but from those previews, I'm pretty excited, because if those little I guess they were what are they, like concept art pictures that they showed in the video that they almost look like, we could potentially get some really big orc models, and possibly even a new boy kit, because there was a squad of boys in the picture. So
that'd be nice. They haven't got anything new for a while.
Yeah, especially like a lot of their base stuff is really getting up there in age. Like the boys kit, like geez, that's been around since like Assault on Black Reach, probably even longer.
Yep.
So yeah, they could use a resculpt, especially when you look at Age of Sigmar with all their crazy dynamic models that are gorgeous. But I think I'm still gonna wait a little bit to see, there's an army that just calls out for me. But lots of exciting stuff there too. Also looks like a bit of a Vampire Counts rework as well, from some of the models in the new Warhammer Quest box. Look like they're going to be replacing or adding updated sculpts to some of the existing fantasy or Age of Sigmar vampire counts. So new skeletons, I think werebats,
They are being
bat swarm.
sorry to interrupt. They are being allocated, those boxes.
Allocate.
Yeah, so we're only allowed, all stores are only allowed a certain amount. So when we did the order, they're like, oh, we've raised the allocation now. Like, well, fuck you.
Oh, it's a little rough. Yeah, it's unfortunate when that sort of stuff happens. But it could, you know, I don't know. There could be COVID things involved. I'm not sure.
Oh, I don't doubt it. That's the only reason why they do allocations, because not enough supply.
Yeah, it's it could very well be it. And I think there's probably some. It looks like there's some high anticipation. One of my friends is going to be picking this thing up on pre-order. So
Oh, I got a box coming in if you want it.
yeah, it looks interesting. Unfortunately, I have too much on my plate to to start something like that. But that would be definitely something. I mean, again, like Wizards Comics, they host different games and things like that, and that's definitely kind of up some of the alley, especially even if, you know, just for D&D figures, there's a lot of figurines in that box if you wanted to pick it up for yourself and then, you know, potentially use proxies. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they're exactly in scale, but I think they're pretty close.
Well, they're pretty decent in scaling.
Yeah. So you guys also sell a lot of the what's it called? Is it Wizards or
Whiz Kids?
yeah, Wiz Kids. Yes. Yeah, they're Dungeons and Dragons range.
Yep.
So
If you want some of these paint, like the army painter stuff I'm using, they released they have like beginner kits for D&D specifically, and you get some unique colors in there that you can't get in this set. And some of them are the same color, they just name them, so you can be like, I'm painting a drow. It's like, here's drow tone, or whatever they call it, instead of like Martian black or something.
oh, nice.
Yeah, so they're cool. They also give you brushes, and they give you models, like unique models. So like the beginner box, I believe, gives you Minsk and Boo from Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, that's actually really good. And yeah, the Wiz Kids Dungeons and Dragons stuff is quite impressive for the quality of the sculpt, you know, compared to the price. So you're getting like really good sculpts for quite cheap.
Have you seen the new Tiamat?
No, I actually haven't.
Huge.
Oh really? Yeah, I'd really be interesting to see that, because I was going with a lot of the Reaper Bone products first. So now there's a lot of
it's a big boy.
It's a big boy. Is Tiamat female? I thought that Tiamat was...
It's a girl, but it's a picky boy.
She's a big dragon. Yeah, I know very little about D&D. I just know that Tiamat is one of the big baddies.
Yep.
There's a lot of artwork and things I think from like the 80s and stuff of her as well.
A few OGs.
Yeah, yeah. You know what, I'm gonna look that up right now.
It's thick. If you guys haven't seen it, take a look at it, search it up. It's the new one that they're doing. They said they tried to keep it under $400, and
oh wow, this thing must be huge then.
it is their biggest model that they've made, like bigger than their gargantuan. You know, like for you longtime guys out there, that red gargantuan dragon that they made back in the day, where it's like sitting and breathing fire. It's like bigger than that.
How do you spell Tiamat? Oh, no, there, I got it. This kid's Tiamat.
Because they have an old one already that's already out, and she's pretty decent size, but she's been scaled down to fit on the table. This they're making is true scale, but you can still use it on the table.
True scale. Massive Tiamat miniature. Oh wow, yeah, that's huge. Let's see the size of this thing.
He's cleaning up on the belly, but oh well.
Now that is massive. Let's see here.
I pinned down my yellow a little bit too much, I think.
Some small bits.
That's why we used the bad brush.
Geez, a 200mm round base.
Oh. She's flying too from the previews that I've seen.
And this one, she's standing on the ground.
Maybe
kinda
she's
like-
standing. Oh, the new one she might be standing then.
Yeah, she's hunched over, and then they have it has the giant red dragon head in the front, and then the 4 smaller ones kind of branching out.
Yeah.
Let's see. Holy crap! Okay, yeah, this thing is huge.
Yep.
Width is 28.9 inches. Length is 16.8 inches. And they have a can of pop to show the scale. Yeah, that thing is massive. Might be one of the biggest dragon models on the market.
Yep. For all you guys who are joining us later, or listening, seeing this video later, it is Will. I'm doing our Friday Hangout April Fool's Edition where we are painting a Karen bear. We have one of the guys here in the chats joining with us. We're just talking about painting tips, paint maintenance, and now we're talking about how thick this new Tiamat model is.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, quite the monster here. So yeah, I remember Reaper Bones had their kind of own version of Tiamat that was quite large, but yeah, this is a whole different scale, so.
A little bit more work. Printer with your bridges and stuff. Here. Definitely going to benefit very well from the wash.
Oh yeah, for sure. Sort of like fur. Makes a huge difference.
this bear did scare Glenn, so I guess it did its job.
Oh. Let's Well, yeah, I'm glad I was able to join in the chat here for a little bit, but I think I do need to head off.
Alright.
But yeah, glad I could comment on some stuff, share some painting advice, and yeah, I hope the live stream goes really well.
Hopefully.
Great.
We shall see you next time.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Hey guys, that was one of our friends of the group here. If you want to be a part of the show just like he was, say some comments, join us in painting your own stuff, all that nonsense. Feel free to join us in the 18+ chat. That's where we stream. Again, following the rules of age-appropriate channels and all that. Excuse me. Excuse me. Oh. So, yeah. So if this seems interesting to you, or you just want to voice your opinion on a matter that I might be rambling on about, feel free to join in there. All that nonsense, and you will be a part of it. I should be finishing the base here soon. Then we go into the cleanup step, which is basically you go around with a finer detail brush and touch up where you may have painted over something the wrong color, or it's a little tiny detail you can get in with your base brush. That's basically how I do it. But try to smooth out the colors here with whatever we have left remaining on the palette or the card at this point. I don't like wasting paint, so I try to use as much as I can. I'll sometimes even have some models on the side here that if I'm painting a similar color and I have finished something completely and I do have some left over, I will go on to it and I will just paint a part of that model the color that it needs to be anyways. I also find doing that, I also have sped up my painting. So instead of spending all day painting one unit, by adding paint here and there over a couple of weeks, it only takes me about an hour to finish a unit because they're all base painted already. Or at least a good chunk of their base painting and stuff. Oh yeah. Good enough. The wash is definitely going to do a lot of work in this model. So, we're going to pray to the wash gods that they be kind to us. And may their paint be ever filling and flowing. And fill in some of these gaps that we can't quite get into. Doesn't matter if I get a little bit of yellow on her hair up here, I'm gonna be layering it anyways with this bright yellow. Nice thing about Army Painter, their paints can be bases or layers with how they're kind of formulated, so there's that. But I'm going to go in now and do the touch-up. Leave that just in case. Never put away paints. Do all your basing with all your base paints out. Do your touch-up. Then when you're done that, then put them away. Get your layers and washes out. So I find I'll be touching up and it might be like, oh, I got it, and I look back like, oh, I accidentally hit it with the thing I was touching up with. So little tips on my end from experience. But again, this is a hobby. It's supposed to be fun. You do it your way. You find doing it a different way over than what I do is a lot better or easier for you. Go for it. For the most part, I'm pretty sure you're doing this hobby for fun. You're not doing it for a challenge. Well, you might be doing it for a challenge. I mean, like, you're not doing it to hate yourself. So if you find a way to do something enjoyable and easy and efficient, then what's the point? Like, what's the point of not doing it? You know what I mean? Like how I was saying here with that yellow, why I shouldn't put away, because I'm going to have to go in here around the belly with a fine tip brush and top it up. But bristles on here are too wide and spaced that I can't get that fine detail. It's great for just massive flat area coverage. So clean that off. I need that space white. That's matte white. I need space white. Starch green. No, that one. I need where are you? What are the Spaceship Exterior? There we go. It's the white that I used. It's actually a pretty nice white. I use this or beige, brain matter beige or whatever for the eyes on my characters. But it's got that like nice. It's white but not like bright white, so like great for windows or screens, or again like a filthy white you might want to do on a set like a spaceship or a window. It's pretty good for that. I'm gonna have to go back in here with the acrylic here, the metallic diamond. Top up the front here because my bristles are rubbing up against it. It's a bad thing because the white will actually add to the brightness. Anyways, we got that. I didn't do the ears because again I was using that to hold the base when I was painting. Also, I want to use the small brush on it. So I think I've basically got to the point where now I just need to use the small brush. So we will do the yellow around where the chin is, and along with the pink on the belly. And we will go in with the metallic and do the foam. I'm going to put this brush, replace spots with my thin. Boom. Here. If you guys ever want to see techniques or ask questions about it, just like we were answering, or even if it's not miniature painting related or the like game we're playing, just want to ask any game questions. I am a very big nerd and I love reading rules on games and stuff. I can always take pause what I'm doing, show you an example of how to do something, or answer it to the best of my capabilities with what I've got or my knowledge. And again, we can always have friends on, like who's just on with us, the guy who's on with us, and ask them questions about how to do painting and all that. But I'm going to go into here and do my painting. So I'm going to start off with the belly and do that. Just get around the chin area. this brush, again, I definitely would not use to, say, face paint this model. Use it to kind of redefine the belly area here. There's a indent wrapping around the belly where the skin should be just like on a regular Care Bear. So I use this to kind of get as close as I can to that and let the bristles kind of fit in. The challenge with this though is because it is a 3D printed model using the plastic and not the resin, it has those bumps. This is something like not even the person who printed it, not even a fault on their end. It's just the fact of how the plastic molding process is. You're just gonna have those bumps. So if you're gonna do painting stuff like this, especially on a larger size, which I couldn't do because of spacing issues, is I would highly suggest sanding it with sandpaper, just like you would, like, say, if you're painting wood or plastic. You want to sand it down so it's nice and smooth to the touch, and it should be fine. Definitely knowing how to properly space out your gates, like your support beams on it, that when it prints upwards, because it prints going up like that, like a needle going like this, like a sewing machine. You definitely want to gating like that will definitely help, because it'll be easier to clean. There'll be less little hidden detail inside, just like when you see a metal model, how you see those like little tings and stuff on the thing, fingernails and stuff. It'll kind of help with that. Use this inside the mouth. That's scary. This is like a zombie freaking Care Bear now. I do not like this. Oh, I just heavily breathed right into the microphone. Sorry about that. I got a message. Who messaged me? Who just messaged me? Okay. So we've got the pinks. I'm going to do the metallics so I don't mix fresh metallic with, oh my god, right here, like a smart person. Mix my metallics with my normal paints. What I'm doing right here is very sacrilege. I highly suggest not doing it. Putting your brush right into the pot of these guys, because they are stuff. They are meant to be dripper. You can contaminate the paint this way. I cleaned off my brush really well, and they're dipping it into opposite colors of each other, so the mixing won't do too much to it. But I'd still suggest, especially if you're going to be doing it for long periods, using that color on a multicolor surface. Definitely apply it to a wet palette or a palette of sorts. Yeah, you just don't contaminate the inside. But I am a bad person, and I will do that anyways because I am me. Don't do what I do. Okay, so that blue's done. I think we're gonna give it a nice, because there's an indented apple, so I think we're gonna give that apple a nice shine to it. Gonna give it a purple. How about that? This blue, a darker blue. I believe these are one of the ones that also failed on me. Yeah, yes it did. So this one's an exception. It's all gumpy because again they were all these metallic paints were destroyed coming into the country because of the cold snap we had. If yours didn't get destroyed though, good on you. It's really hard to, because a bunch of the paints did make it. It's just the like half of them I've seen, and they all kind of differ from who's who, but a bunch of them basically gumped up, and they were all different colors. So like my purples and my reds gumped up. My greens, yeah, all my greens, this purple and that one pink red I was trying to use originally, all gumped up. So, yeah. So basically what I'm doing is I'm taking like a strong little tubey item. It could be anything. I'd suggest it being clean and not covered in other paints, but basically what I'm doing is I am, with paint thinner in here that I put in before, I am squishing around the paint that's dried up, and I'm basically mixing it so I can get solid paint coming out. As you guys can kind of possibly see. Oh, you can't really see because of YouTube in my hand, but then we'll see these. Again, Army Painters being a bro, and they're replacing it for me. So I should hopefully have some new ones coming in. And of course, because of no longer being the cold anymore, I should have some actually usable stuff coming in. So I'm just gonna try. I'm gonna try it. We'll try see if we can get something to show. No, we're not. Well, it was a try, but it's a shame. These are really nice, but the paints are just completely fluid. You do a nice opposite color situation here. Here we go. This one's gonna work because it's coming out of the tip already. There we go. Yeah, it does have the foam in it. Good. I foamed it already. Lenses. There we go. Last but not least, we're going to do this stripe here first. That's a really bright pink. Again, as you can see, like I was saying, these base paints, there's an air pocket in it because of how thick and how they're kind of like thinning water agent is. There's like air bubbles, so it will pop up over time. I'm just gonna get the foam in here, get that ready. Basically just gonna pull from the top here. We're just gonna add that pink stripe in the hair with our detail brush. Those who are staying with us, thank you for watching this video and staying by and listening to me ramble. We are actually going to be doing something different after I'm done the base painting and the washes on this model. Something that is unexpected but semi-expected at the same time because of April Fools. Straight done. Use it in the ears too. get a so it goes back. Bam, what that was that pink. Now we can do the yellow. This one we're actually gonna pour out because I do need quite a bit of it. She's now on the bed. Yep. Sure is boring without others around here. For me, at least. I know I ain't the best person for watching and talking. Not the epitome of good content. Hopefully, basically, I'm just trying to get attention to the group, and by the hopefully our goal is we'll get a bunch of people playing that. I might not have to be streaming, or if I am streaming, we have a bunch of people in here chatting, and I can act as basically just like a monitor that you guys can watch, and like I can flip through the different channels to see what they're playing. Basically was the goal behind this. Like I would come in, chat with one of the guys from the store, get the groups all set up and going, and then we'd basically let you guys go and free reign and do what you want. You know how things go. Things don't always go as you plan. But oh well, you're here. As my older past self would say, aka the man himself, Bob Ross, no mistakes, only happy accidents. So I have a big old poster beside my painting table here that is, I got some pink on me, is Duncan saying, remember two thin coats, staring at the camera. And I have a poster of Bob Ross himself telling you that there's no accidents, happy incidences, or whatever the saying is. You know what I mean. Yeah, talk about a guy who's dedicated to his work, man. Bob Ross there, he went through a lot of shit, and he still made people happy and did his job, and did things that made him happy, even though he was dealing with a lot of stuff. Guy was a pure person. Maybe not the purest, like the purest person yet, but you know what I mean. If you guys want to see whatever, like, type to us and stuff, like chat to us, we are in the general typing, like general text chat. I will, like, personally take out my phone from time to time and flip through the other channels just to see if anyone's talking. But if you want your post to be seen the quickest, that is where I'd recommend posting. You guys have been enjoying the music. If there's any sort of style of music you like, or people that you know that's good, Of course, all royalty free, because YouTube likes to YouTube. Feel free to let us know. I'll take a listen, and if it fits, I will. Basically, as long as it's clean enough, I will play it on the stream next time. But yeah, I know Outriders just came out. I'm excited for that. Technically, it came out yesterday, but it kind of was its own April Fool's because no one could actually get the game to work because it was all online. So and it was impossible to connect to the game, and it was always kicking you out. So I do want to play that today. At least attempt. Don't lick your brushes, especially if you put it in water with metallics and stuff. Don't do what I do. Another tip. Don't do what I do. I might order from cones today. Might be a thing. They're pretty good. I think the best way to describe them was, I believe Mike said that they were like the best stadium food that you've ever had, or carnival food. Like and then I'm like, yeah, they're like the 5-star restaurant of carnival food. Like compared to other restaurants, especially like places like that are supposed to be really fancy, like Montana's or something, like restaurants like that sort of style, they're not good, but the people are local. They make all their stuff from hand with local ingredients. They're always making new sort of like recipes and stuff. The place is really clean. The staff's really nice. Basically, you can as long as they have the ingredients, they'll make whatever you want, basically, and they charge a really reasonable price for a lot of stuff you get with it. So it's really good. But again, you're not getting blow your mind flavors unless you eat like their pizza cone for the first time, or their milkshakes. Some of the best milkshakes I've had is from them. So yeah, highly suggest checking them out. But I think we are good with the base painting. I know I didn't do the nose yet, which I might just do that right now quickly. But I'm going to say the reason why I'm not doing the eyes is because I want the eyes will be painted with just a singular layer of paint. So with the wash, it'll make them stick out even more. Or the wash will just darken the eyes, whereas painting it over the washed areas will actually make them stick out more. So we'll just get that. Zoom in. There we go. There we go. So guys can kind of show you where we are at with this. Where we are at with the painting of the bear. The bear! Kill the bear! From, that's a Game Grumps quote. Anyways. Get my wash brush out here. There we go. So this is currently where we are at with the bear. You guys can kind of see a bit of under. The yellow's not that thick. It's very thin. So we're gonna wash it. Or I think I might add the polka dots, the cheetah print dots on here first. Then we'll wash it, but I think I might also wait for it later and add the dots after so they sprite like they stick out. But I think I'm gonna actually mix them. But that's that. Once we hit this with the wash, you'll kind of see where this is all going. Pinksy pink here. It's supposed to be beside troll. Ah, I see. These got pushed around. Aha. There we go. That explains a few things. So we're going to use this brown right here. Because they look, the spots look black, but sometimes they're a brownish color on cheetahs. So we're going to use the brown. And I think our music is done. So let us go check our music here. Oh, no, it just paused. Alright. Shake, 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 shake. This is a paint, it's in this paint set, but this is like I was talking about with the whole D&D starter sets, when they make those special like intro paint sets where they'll rename some of their paints. This was from the German starter box, the rapid deployment box is what they call it for that version. But yeah, it's got this cool like limited edition sort of wrapper on it. It's kind of like you can call their contrast paints or their layering basing paint sort of system, where it'll tell you what paints to use. You buy their base paint system for army gaming, and then you buy the one that is specific to your army, and you get paints like that are specific, and then you get one of these small guys. They're quick shapes. So the idea is you dip the model in it, wipe off the excess, and let it sit for 24 hours. And it's a varnish and a wash that basically turns it into contrast. So you paint on all the base layers, dip it in, wipe it off so it's not super globby, a couple of shakes, and then you put it down and you let it just like run down the model smoothly, and it shades it, semi-layers it, and varnishes it so you can slap on your decals, put a little bit of another bit of varnish over the decal, and you're good to go. It's a rapid deployment system. It's not supposed to, it looks decent. It does the job. It's like contrast, except for instead of going one way with contrast, where it's like you prime and paint on, you're done. It's kind of like the reverse. It's you're done, paint on, base varnish. So it's kind of like a weird flippy floppy, but it's very unique and a very interesting way to do it. Their dipper washes are made out of this stuff, except for they're more watered down, so they're not as destructive to your brush, and they're meant to be on a palette. They make the actual real one of these are like in a big old cup container like that, like a mini paint can that can fit this in it. Like you can fit a model this size or bigger in it. So they're quite expensive, but again, it's a varnish that will last you, and it's thick and heavy. So just like how Mitch was talking about when he joined us, is it won't tip on you. You got a lot in there, and it will last forever. And they make like 5 or 6 different main ones, and basically it's does everything. Like this dark tone or your strong tone, you basically paint any color you want, dip it in. It's like non-oil. It's the non-oil of Army Painter, and or you can use a dripper bottle or like a turkey beast or like a little eyedropper, pour some out, put it on a palette, water it down, and it'll do the same. So you can paint it on, or you can dip it in, and it does both. So I'd recommend checking it out, especially if you want some sort of quick dippy style of stuff. I've enjoyed it. Again, it destroys brushes, so using that paint thinner that we show you, or the paint cleaner, will definitely help. Using that will save your brushes, definitely don't use your nice Windsor brushes or whatever the current like brand name huge expensive $200 brush set is on it. Use using these like Citadel wash brushes or some Michaels or Dollarama sort of $1 brush sets is definitely will save you your mind and your brushes, because even if you use the paint cleaner, it will over time eat away at the bristles and the glue. So it just helps extends it. So we are doing this. For those who are joining, quick recap. We are painting as a joke for April 1st, we are painting a Karen bear that was donated to the channel by a member at Wizards, a file member of sorts, donated this. So we took it as a challenge to paint it. I thought it would be funny to do today. I did it yesterday, but it's not Thursday Hangouts, it's Friday Hangouts. Of course, Wizards is just the sponsor. They're not related to us, so this is not a Wizards event that we're doing right now, like an official one. This is by the community, so he has challenged the community to paint. We're doing a cheetah print for the main fur. Looks kind of crappy, but again, with the wash, you'll see. Too much, not too little. Dots will definitely help with the paint, but you don't want to go too dotty because you don't want to pull from the yellow. Basically, don't want to distract. Basically, don't want too much happening on the model. But there we go. We have our Karen bear all ready for washes. Spin here carefully. Just fall off. There we go. Now we're good for washes. I know it's a little bit darker on here, so if you're using the theater of imagination, a bit of the brightness on this color when you see the colors, but saturated with this and kind of like darkened. So that yellow, like it's like these colors, but in this brightness. I know I'm not explaining it well, but like it makes sense in my mind, but I'm also physically seeing the thing, so I'll have pictures later posted on our in our Discord for you guys to look at. I'm gonna go and wash this. I think we're gonna call it a wrap for the recorded half of this, for this part, or for the streamed half of this. I'm gonna go and record the second half of the video where we'll go doing something special, which I will announce at the end of this stream. So yeah, let's go in and do a wash here. So we're gonna start with, because the majority of this is yellow, we're gonna do a Seraphim Sepia wash, or if you're doing Army Painter, it is called, I wanna say you're using probably either the light tone or do soft tone. But basically a yellow wash is what you're doing. So we'll move on to that here. Oh, this is a brand new one. Cool. Yeah, we have a paint rack in the area where when we had all the guys be able to visit, where all the hobbying would happen, and this happens to be one of those brand new ones. So yeah, that's kind of the color I want for the wash, but the brush I'm using is too small, so it's streaking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a bigger brush to paint this thing. Bigger brush. This is more for like my infantry models. Bigger brush. Do I have a bigger brush? I can come out now. That was just used to mix. I should have a bigger brush actually in here. Here you are. The big old boy. This one. This one will definitely do. It's not meant to be a wash brush, but it will have to do. I'm painting on a sort of special surface, so if I spill wash all over it, it does not matter to me. It's meant to get all messy, and I can just scoop up the wash anyways. Yeah, this is where that dip wash would come in very, very handy. Would be this, because I could just dip it in. It would actually be very useful, but I forgot to get a can of that. Actually, I wasn't really a huge fan of it, because I didn't really have a way to clean off my brushes after, but now that I do, I might think about picking it up again. I might go back and rethink that thought of if I want it or not. Face. I want to be very careful here. This is where I'm going to switch to the smaller brush, because I don't want to get this wash on that screen because it is such a bright white, or like a whitish color, that I don't want it to get stained. So we're going to be very careful, especially on the arm too that's holding the phone. All around that area, we're gonna keep that, but we're gonna switch over to that smaller brush now. I think makes this more funny is that those rings are still there. The molding rings, or the printing rings. So they're kind of acting like a sort of like a surface for the wash or your inks, whatever, to hide in. That might be another good reason why you want to sand it down, because your washes will flow into them. Clean up the excess. Don't let it pool too much. There you go. Wash it off. Go around where you just see it pooling a bit, kind of like smooth it out. Go. Then I have a purple wash for the belly and I'm going to use the phone is basically done. I don't need to touch that. The metallics, if anything, I'm probably going to use a non-oil, so black wash on it, and thin it down that way, like dull it down that way. Blackish bluish wash. That's going to be interesting because the washes are still drying. You can also do some cool effects with washes, like you can do gun bluing, like metal bluing or heat effects off of a hot barrel, or a muffler, or you can do like ghostly effects or water effects out of them. So you can do that. Try it on here. Just see what happens. That's actually not bad. I think we'll keep that actually. There we go. I just used the purple wash on the phone. Actually doesn't look that bad. So now we let it sit and dry. You do not want to touch this while it's still drying, no matter what sort of, if you use a watered down paint, you definitely want it to sit and dry. But I don't think we got much on the, yeah, we didn't get any on the phone, on the screen, so we're good. And it's gonna dry. So there we have it. There's the base and layering of the bear done. Then we're gonna go in once this is done drying, and we're going to add the layer effects, which I will add later on in you will see on the finished photo. But thanks for stopping by our Friday Hangouts. I hope you enjoyed the streamed version of this, the first half of the party where we did for April Fools our Karen Bear. So we did that. I'm going to move on to our next part here, which will not be streamed, which will be in the Discord. So if you guys want to come and watch that, I'll have it recorded and I'll probably post it later on the Wizards YouTube with permission, of course, from Wizards. If not, it'll be on my own YouTube, where I am going to, and wait for it, I am going to unpack digital Pokemon packs and build a deck. Yeah, you heard it first. Will, the guy who is against pack opening channels for April Fools, is opening Pokemon booster packs. I know I'm hating myself on the inside for this. I'm not too happy about it, but if this is what the kids are doing nowadays, and if it's just something that you guys might like and want to see, I'm not against doing what you don't want to see. I just personally don't like it and what it's done to the community, but I am willing to do it for you guys because we love you here and we like hanging out. And I also want to, I have a bunch of packs just sitting in my thing because they were blocked because of the pre-release. But now pre-release has been long gone. I actually have a day off not doing anything. I'm actually going to go unbox them. So I think I'm going to go order a supper lunch, and I will come back and record that on the Discord and do some pack opening and teach you guys how to build a deck, kind of like what to look out for, what is actually worth money and not just blown up because of some person online. If you guys want to stop by, voice your opinion, kind of telling me what's your favorite Pokemon, like what theme deck, like you guys can sit with me and we can build a deck out of my cards based off a theme or a certain Pokemon type. But we'll be doing that. Again, thank you for joining this stream. This has been the Wizards Friday Hangouts. We do this every Friday from 3 to 8 MST, with the first 2 to 1.5 hours recorded / streamed. So those who may have missed it or younger who can't really chat in the 18 plus chat can come see. There's still some parental advisory, like we will swear from time to time on here. We don't kind of watch what people are doing when they join in. If there being a problem, we'll kick them out. You know the usual streaming stuff. And so we usually do that. Some days I might, because I know I'm the one that mostly does the streaming and I'm kind of like the coordinator. Even though I might not be streaming, I'm still in the Discord answering questions, sitting in there chilling with Mike and the others, playing some games with Glenn and the boys on Tabletop Simulator or video games. Always feel free to hop in, say hello, share your art, share your models, tell us interesting stories about gaming, or talk comics. If you're a file guy at our store, file guy or girl, file person at the store, we have a channel for specifically just for you guys. And of course, please make sure that you actually are a file member. We're doing a trust system here. Don't ruin it for everyone else. If you're a file member and you can prove what your file is, we have cool things like when we do podcasting, like when we do our recording sessions, when we get back into the natural groove where we can actually plan ahead. You guys can join live while we're recording and ask us questions or interrupt or say stuff basically. You get priority speaking in channels when it comes to like D&D nights, Magic nights, Q&A sessions that we might do, or doing events like this, the chat, the stream. You can join in and your voice will be heard over others because of Discord stuff. You can share like screens and stuff. You have your own personal channels. You get cool discounts, rewards, special things like that, unedited audio from our podcasts. And you're going to see that, I believe, about a day early compared to others who watch it on your streaming services like iTunes or Podomatic is where we host, so you can watch it on there. Links are in the description. And if you guys liked our last video where we played Gloomhaven with the boys, and you want to try it out, where we can be a little bit more speedier because we're not having to sit and tell everyone else how to play, join the link in this video specifically. It should be right under the description. Join there. That's where we play it. I'm a huge fan of Gloomhaven. The Frosthaven expansion's coming out in November, which has 3 different ways to play the game with double to even possibly triple the length of time. It is a standalone expansion, basically, part 2 of the story. So if you want to play and get going, which you can transfer your characters over, which we have a sort of role play, save your own character system built into this Discord, so you can transfer it over to Frosthaven once we change our theme and our setting and our lore. So it's kind of like a living world Discord where you semi-role play as your character in the city of Gloomhaven, depending on what everyone has chosen in the world to play, because it's a legacy game. It'll affect the Discord and like what channels get made, what channels exist, what gets removed, titles, all that stuff. Maybe even some NPCs and some lore that I've written or notes that I take. So if that's something that interests you, definitely take a look at that link below. It's open to everyone. It's a public Discord, and I always look for people to play with. Definitely join on there. There's also some links and a note about how to start up and maybe some useful items. Again, if you like what you're seeing here or you want to chat, Discord link for the Wizards Discord's in here. But I've rambled long enough. There's a lot that I can go on about what's been going on, what's coming out, Warhammer news, D&D news, painting news, board game news, video game news. That if you guys want to hear any of that, feel free to discuss it in the channels, ask us questions. We will answer them in our podcasts, our Friday Hangouts, what have you. But it is now 2 hours and 30 minutes going into this, double the length because it's a special edition. And our bear here is about to be almost completely dry. I'm going to go use a low setting at your hair dryer to kind of speed it up. But I'm going to go and finish this bear before hopefully in the next hour so that we can continue with the Pokemon. So I will be off the Discord for a bit just to finish this quickly, but I will be back to do that Pokemon. So with that, this is Will with the Friday Hangout. Thank you for stopping by. Gigi is on the bed. She also says thank you. And thank you to all you guys who stopped by and took a look. Those who may have joined us in the chat. We will see you guys next time.